Hey everyone, it's Phil here from Untitled Films. Welcome, thanks for tuning in. Just want to give a bit of advice to other short horror filmmakers out there about how to go about making a short horror film. For me personally, I love the work that Wes Craven did with the Scream franchise. I love Halloween, When a Stranger Calls Back, Insidious, quite a few to name, and I take inspiration from them. And with any story that I write, there's got to be an aggressor, there's got to be a victim. Whether you want to portray that in a psychological aspect or whether you want to see the danger or threat on screen, that's up to you. I like to use a lot of psychological implications. I don't like to show too much on screen. The audience's mind will naturally play into it if the film has the seed to plant in their mind to play into it. Obviously you've got to account for the script. Is it a good script? Do you need a location? Have you got a budget for the location? Have you got transport? Have you got accommodation? Have you got catering? Worst case scenario, obviously use your own cars, but are you insured? Have you got permission to film where you're filming? Is there any health and safety issues at hand? Are you using any props? Are you using any weapons, any knives, anything like that? Anything like that, make sure it's accounted for professionally and legally. Do not just turn up with a knife and expect no one to phone the police, because I've seen it happen. Not on me, obviously, but I have seen it happen. When you do go on location, is the weather on your side? If it's not, find a way to accommodate for it. Even if it means putting people in your car, turn the heating on full blast, leaving the car engine running for half an hour, so be it. You have to do it. You have to look after your talent and your crew. You have to. When it comes to obviously catering, as I say, if you're going to buy a big junk food bag, give it to them. Let them obviously get what they want from the shop. Reimburse them. You have to take into account obviously the crew need to eat as well. And obviously not just that. I've had before crew members run up to me, I need some more batteries, we need some more makeup. Right, get it bought. Do not delay. Get on top of it the moment you find out. Communication is key with pre-production work, and if you haven't got the pre-production work sorted and out the way, you're going to struggle. Obviously when you're doing your pre-production, you need to take into account your shooting schedule. Make more time if you can. You're gonna maybe have to film the same scene 7 or 8 times. Account for that. Make sure you've got the time to do it. If you can't, you're going to have to end up cutting scenes, or worst case scenario, what you do get in the can is not going to be what you want it to be, and you're going to be disappointed in yourself and the project. When it comes to filming, keep the atmosphere as lively as possible, keep everyone bubbly, keep the energy flowing. There is nothing worse than arguments on set that kill the atmosphere. I've been on very, very, very low budget sets before where everyone wanted to be the director and you thought, you know what, in the end, get me out of here. Find people on your wavelength. Find people who want to collaborate. Find people who have the same interests as you. Find people who understand the end vision you have, the end goal. Find people who aren't going to make demands. I'm going to say, well, I want this, I want that. That's what obviously people might think when I say that. Oh, but you're looking after people. There's a fine line. I came across a runner a few years ago. I couldn't believe this. They were made aware of the budget and what the fee was. The moment I said, yeah, sure, we'll take you on, you would honestly believe this individual was an A-list celebrity. I want 150 odd quid per day, and then I want this for food and drink, then I want this for transport. And in the end, I turned around and said to them, you're not the talent, you're the runner. And what you're being given already is actually minimum wage. And this individual got on their high horse and then started slagging off the film on social media purely because I'd said no to accommodating their requests, which they shouldn't have even been requesting as far as I'm concerned, because they were a runner. When you have situations like that, just cut people off. Just cut them off. There's no point going back to them. They're not going to do you any good. They didn't help you right now. They're not going to help you in the long run. The people that are on your wavelength, however, communicate everything you can with them. If you're not sure about something, tell them. If you want to share an idea, share it. If they want to share an idea with you, listen to it. It might not work. There's no harm in listening to it. Hell, if you have time, film it. If it didn't work, hey, you tried it. That's the main thing. Always allow your talent to try things on screen and improvise if they want to. Don't be one of these people who is that bossy. People feel they can't even express what the character might do. Because for all you know, you might have just missed something so small that could make a big difference to the whole scene. I've done it myself. When you are filming, be respectful. Turn your mobile phone off. The amount of times this does not happen, and I've been very close to hearing, well, get off the set then, is unbelievable. And also, when the sound recordist is recording, there's that little buzz noise that comes through when a message is received on a mobile. Unless you're a big budget production, getting rid of that noise, it's not easy to do, and it's a headache. And it also doesn't help when you can identify the voice in the background and you then have to go and speak to them and say, right, you were told to be quiet, you were told we were filming, why are you talking? You will always get an excuse, or you'll get, I'm sorry, I thought I turned it off. So it's simple. Turn your damn phone off for 5 minutes. You're not going to die from it. I know there's people out there who always have a genuine reason to have it on, but I also say to them, well, that's fine. However, if you get a text that's not important and our audio recording needs redoing, there's going to be hell on. And that's how seriously I take it, because I know it upsets other people, it upsets the sound people, and it upsets the actors and the actresses, because at the end of the day, you have to reshoot, which isn't fair because of one person. When you are filming, obviously, you're having fun, you forget the time. I've done it before. You've shot a scene, the same scene 3 times, the next thing you know, 45 minutes has gone, you're like, damn, we have to, get ready for the next scene. Make sure you keep an eye on the time. The time flies by faster than you can think, especially if you're on location and it's raining. Well, it's not going to stop raining in 20 minutes and we need this shot in the next 5 minutes, otherwise the sun's gone down, right? So you either need to reschedule for the next day, or you need to make an executive decision there and then. Do we chance it, or do we wait? It's one of those things where you're put on the spot and you have to make a decision, and that's what filmmaking is about. Once you've got everything in the can, once you've filmed everything you can, look through all the footage at least 3 times. Make notes, make a production log, make an edit decision list, get it all together. Make sure you know, scene by scene, what needs to be together. You were basically buying a jigsaw from Toys R Us, and you've been told you have got 3 days to put that jigsaw piece together. Go and do it. That's what editing is. You've got to make a jigsaw fit together. And you're going to come across challenges, technical problems. Don't wear too many hats in the same project. Find an editor if you can. Find an editor who's either happy to work for free or happy to work for a negotiated fee. But respect, obviously, they're bringing a skill set and their experience to the table. Let them have a play around, see what they can do with it. When it comes to obviously releasing the film, that's a whole different ball game altogether. For me personally, advertise like crazy. Talk about your film. Ask other people to see their work. Ask other people if you watch my film, can I watch your film? Vice versa. Put yourself out in film groups. Facebook, Instagram. I don't use Twitter myself, but Twitter. Any digital avenue that you can promote your film on, make a decent, wicked poster, get it out there. And if you're one of these people who obviously goes for the film festivals, all I'll say is you're paying for an opinion sometimes, and that's all you are paying for. Ultimately, if the film is as good as you think it will be, naturally the admiration will come your way regardless. The amount of people who obsess over film festivals. I personally don't believe in them. I've tried them before, and when I've asked around, when I've actually spoken to film and TV producers at the high end of the scale, a lot of them have said they're not recognised by the actual industry. You're wasting your money, you're wasting your time. The last time I submitted to film festivals, I think I think it was something just short of about £150 altogether, and they all came back rejected, and I was like, well, £150 just being wasted. But at the same time, I thought, you know what, the film isn't perfect. I should have known better. I was naive at the time, but then looking back, I think, you know what, Scream didn't win any Oscars. When a Stranger Calls Back didn't win any Oscars. Insidious didn't win any Oscars. But what did they do? They created more jobs because they got more money, because they were good films. They were good horror films. If your film is good, you don't need a recognition, because it will naturally be successful in itself. And on that note, I'm going to say, ultimately, you need a decent budget, and as I say, you need to find people who are on your wavelength, collaboration, and excellent time management skills, and above all, creativity. If you have not got creativity, you're not going to get very far. Think outside the box. Try original, new, fresh ideas. It's all good and well trying to copy off another film. Put your own twist on it. Put your own vision on it. Think, yes, I like that. How could I do it in my own way with new ideas? And before you know it, you'll come out with a horror film that you never expected can be as good as it actually is. Cheers for watching, guys, and as always, keep filming and take it easy.